September 14th, as I said, so therefore we celebrate this feast that he outbreaks a regular Sunday. Very clearly because we have to be reminded of the works of the Lord. We have to be reminded because we are human beings and we can so get easily caught up in life that we have, the details, the things that have been done, pains that are inflicted upon us or from our body. We become so self-absorbed at times, especially in the modern world, that we have to be drawn out of ourselves. That's why we're coming to Mass, really. Something we do to worship the Lord. This is the way we are drawn out of ourselves, coming together, showing that our religion is not a private thing. We do this together. We have a great example of what it means to get caught up in troubles, tribulations, real ones, the first reading. We have in the book of Numbers the account where the house of Israel has been freed from slavery, dramatically freed from Egypt. 7 plagues, Moses coming to plead before Moses, finally saying, oh, please, let's get rid of these people. Just go, take whatever you want, go. Now, it wasn't easy, as dramatic as them. Egypt changing their minds, saying, oh, who are these people? Who are these people that just did this to us? Get them back here now. We can't talk about them back here. We'll show those people who they're dealing with. Up against the Red Sea. You know the movie you saw, right? The drama. Maybe it wasn't that dramatic. Egypt is pursuing them. But thinking, this isn't it. We're against the world. That's it again. Doesn't go worth it. Talk of being on the edge of death. God opens the Red Sea, then we pass dry shod from the sea. Then to watch the sea collapse upon their enemies. Separate yourselves completely from that which held us back. They, of course, would have thought that would hold back. Slavery in Egypt held us back. Those people held us back. That nation held us back. That Pharaoh held us back. Free. Now we're free. Were they really free? Now they had to deal with what truly holds us back. And that's original sin, at least the effects of it. Original sin, which causes us to go in to ourselves, to navel gaze. So when times get tough, can't see anything or any solutions, like the house of Israel here in the first reading. They complain against God and Moses. Why are you doing something to die? Why are you doing this? We'd rather have food and drink back in Egypt. What happens when they God? Or that slavery fight? How easy they forgot the drama, they forgot the 30-minute mountains. They forgot even the Red Sea and then that miracle. Now their stomachs are dictating them. Along with their heart, certainly not their mind. No food, no water, we're wretched. We're disgusted with this wretched food. Reminds me of an old joke. When I attempt to tell you a joke, I'm not going to jokes, but I'll tempt you. Attempt to do this. There's this monastery that was complete silence, and a man showed up to become a monk, and he arrived. And after a year, the abbot brought him in, and he left. He wanted to describe how much he remembered. He said, cold. So he goes back. Next year he goes back, and again he's allowed to say, when where's the abbot? The Irish and the European is there. He said, hungry. So the next year he goes back, and he comes in and says the next word. And so the Alex said, so what would you like to say? Leaving. He said, well, thank God what you've done here is complain. It worked. We can get so caught up in that which we think we do not have that we forget the God who gives us everything. Do not forget the works of the Lord. We've heard it in Psalm. And today we specifically a reminder of ourselves of the ultimate action of God that really didn't even involve us. It did because it involved our humanity. He took that humanity and he was willing to be the sacrifice for us all. To rewrite our law. To set us back on the path. Open up the gates of heaven. Unite heaven and earth once again. Unite us to our God that we separate ourselves from. I mentioned last week, why would God do such things for us? Because he created his own love, and that love would never be diminished even though we diminish it quite often. But we have to be reminded constantly of this action of God, and that's why when I speak about the principles at hand, how important it is for us to take these things seriously. Because if we forget the works of the Lord, we become extremely human again. And we operate on what I can get. And then we operate also about when we suffer, how to eliminate that suffering. And our God says it's the complete opposite. Guys, when you have a problem, turn the problem into a blessing. Yeah, that's senseless. Of course it is. But isn't that the reality of the cross? The cross is a sign to each of us that God did not have to go through this action to save us. He didn't have to, but he chose to. He chose that which would get severely to your heart and mind, would cut to your gut. To see a man who was sacrificed upon a cross, you say that was for you. Not just you and you, but we believe Jesus Christ, as God, Son of God, knew every one of us when he entered that death. He did it for each of us individually. Knowing us way before we were conceived in our mother's wombs. He went to the cross doing it for us personally. To draw us out of ourselves. To be victorious in the world that we live in. To share in that victory. So that when we are hungry, when we are tired, when we are thirsty, when we are naked, when we are homeless, when we are persecuted, when we are bogged down with illness, when we're on the brink of death itself, God can say to you, remember? It was at the tomb of Lazarus that he said to the sister left. Do you remember what I told you? She used the only one that had a little bit of faith that he could grow on. Do you remember what I told you that if you believe in the face of anything, even death itself, you will live? You will have the glory of God. You will see the glory of God. Do you remember? And it's in the Gospel of John, that absurd miracle happens. Because she professed, yeah, I do remember. And I do believe that Lazarus would come forward from the tomb. By her action, believe. In the face of that which she never thought she'd have to face. Probably more so because she knew Jesus. Because she knew Jesus, she never thought that this tragedy would happen. And how often do we get to those circumstances? How often do I hear people say, why did God do this to me? God doesn't do things to you. Life doesn't to you. It's God who's saying to you, see that I'm here for you in the midst of this? I'm ready to help you pick up the pieces. I'm ready to help make the cross that you have to bear down. It's your trophy. But we become very human when things like this happen. But like the practices of the hand, for full participation in Mass, daily prayer, going to God, communing with Him, frequent confession, sacrificial living, sacrificial relationships, not going into friendships and love by what I'm going to get, what I'm going to give, and knowledge of the faith. Those things, practice every day, helps to keep drawing us out of ourselves, to remember the works of the Lord, to remember what God has done in the past, and He will not forget us. He will not forget you, no matter how insignificant